Generally speaking, video game characters can be counted upon to be a stylish bunch. Whether they're dashing heroes, sartorially elegant NPCs, or suave villains, our favourite digital personalities are often dressed to impress. Sadly, not every character from every video game has an eye for fashion, and there are some whose choices of apparel are questionable at best and downright ludicrous at worst. And so for today's list, we're taking a look at some of the daftest outfits ever to grace the bodies of video game personages. Whether it's their standard attire or an alternative look that must be unlocked and then equipped by the player, we don't mind, and as long as the overall ensemble is completely outlandish, it's more than welcome here. We won't, however, be including examples of preposterous lady armor, as that feels very much like a topic for another list. I'm the always well-dressed Ben from TripleJump, and here are the 10 most ridiculous video game costumes of all time. Number 10. Ashley Graham, Resident Evil 4. We're kicking off our list with an alternate costume that players must unlock before they get to appreciate its silliness. In both Resident Evil 4 and its 2023 remake, Ashley Graham dresses somewhat normally for a 20-year-old woman and is often seen wearing a mustard-coloured turtleneck, matching jacket or sweater, and a green plaid skirt. However, by completing the Separate Ways minigame in the original or getting an A rank in hardcore mode in the remake, players can unlock a somewhat old-fashioned look for Ashley to sport. Indeed, if players meet these conditions, they'll unlock a full set of armour that Ashley can equip, complete with a visor, fancy gold detailing, and a rather natty red feather atop the helm. Now don't get us wrong, Ashley's medieval armour is incredibly useful as it prevents her from being attacked by enemies, accidentally shot by Leon, or carried away by one of the Ganado, but it looks and sounds incredibly daft, especially as it's juxtaposed against a rather horrific situation. Though we're very appreciative of the fact that our ward is now effectively invincible, the soft clanking of the armour does spoil the atmosphere a bit. Still, it does distract from Leon's ridiculous 1920s mobster getup, I suppose. Number 9. Dante, Dante's Inferno. Don't get us wrong, we're all for body modifications here at Team TripleJump. In fact, a few of us, myself and our writer included, have the odd tattoo here and there, but we can't help but feel that Dante of Dante's Inferno has taken things a wee bit too far. Loosely based on the first part, or canticle if you want to get learning a new word about this, of Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, Dante's Inferno follows the titular Templar as he fights his way through hell, literally rather than figuratively, in order to rescue his lady love Beatrice. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were heading into the fiery depths of Lucifer's stomping ground, I'd probably make sure I went down there with some protective clothing, and you certainly wouldn't catch me traipsing around with my nerps out. That's nipples. Though he does sport a chainmail head covering and various bits of plate on his shoulders, arms and legs, all of Dante's chest, you know, where all the important bits are, is exposed to the world, covered only by a large red cloth cross that he's stitched into his own skin. Even if the demons don't get to him, a nasty infection is sure to. Silly boy. Number 8. Kent, Amnesia Memories. Buckles. They're rather useful, aren't they? They help to stop things from falling out of a satchel, they keep you nice and safe when you're doing dangerous activities, and prevent all of the people in my basement from escaping. Ah, cruddles, I've said too much. Editor, can we cut that last bit, please? Thank you, the mods will escape. Anyway, where was I? Ah yes, buckles. Someone who takes his love of buckles to the nth degree, however, is Amnesia Memories Kent. This 25-year-old graduate clearly never grew out of his edgelord phase and is almost always seen wearing some bizarre ensemble comprised of knee-high leather boots, diamond-patterned skinny jeans, green leather gloves, and a trench coat with no less than 23 buckles and straps. I mean, no one wants to see their coat go flying off thanks to a wayward gust of wind, but this is just ridiculous. What's perhaps most worrying, however, is that we see Kent wearing said coat whilst in bed. Honestly, there's loving a garment, and then there's this. We're surprised he doesn't wear it to go swimming, though the chlorine would probably ruin it and he'd likely drown thanks to the weight of all that metal. Number 7. Kratos, God of War 2. Now, before anyone comes at us in the comments, we're not talking about Kratos' standard dress here, but are instead referencing a rather unusual alternate outfit with which he can be equipped in God of War 2, which the devs definitely included just for the sake of the pun. Indeed, if you did play God of War 2 and felt that Kratos didn't look silly enough, then all you needed to do was complete the game on any difficulty to unlock a costume called God of War. Yes, you heard that right, folks. Santa Monica Studio allowed players to take on the game with Kratos dressed as a giant fish. This absolutely insane blue monstrosity of an outfit came complete with fins, a tail, a big old trouty mouth for Kratos to peer out of, and a pair of wall-eyed peepers just to really hammer home the effect. The costume isn't without its benefits, as it does double the value of any orbs that Kratos collects, but we're not sure that this small boon is enough to make up for the serious reduction in street cred. There are more feelings I have about this stupid outfit, but I don't want to carp on about it. Fish. Number 6. Grant, Castlevania Judgment. If you've seen our Every Castlevania Ranked from Worst to Best video, then you'll know that 2008's Castlevania Judgment is far from being the best Castlevania game ever made, but it is home to a character with one of the silliest costumes in all of video gaming. Grant Dynasty made his first appearance in Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, but in that game he looks like a fairly normal, if slightly piratey dude. In Castlevania Judgment, however, he's got a whole new look, and we can't say that it's working for him. Pale as a ghost and wrapped in bandages, new Grant looks somewhat like a mummy, but with added spikes and leather, dark eyeliner, blue lipstick, and a sweet manicure. Partially armoured, though like Dante not on any parts that actually matter, and sporting what look like arseless chaps held up with a studded belt, Grant looks like he chose this outfit from the reject bin in the design apartment at Hot Topic whilst wearing a blindfold. Actually, with all those bandages over his face, it's highly likely that Grant can't see what he looks like. Can someone get this guy a pair of scissors and a mirror? Number 5. Zack, Dead or Alive series. Fighting games are home to all manner of insane outfits and costumes, and honestly, we could have filled this list with all of the overly booby ensembles that the Dead or Alive series female characters have sported over the years. We decided not to head down that particular rabbit hole, however, and instead our DOA pick for this list is the sci-fi costume worn by Zack on a number of different occasions. This, a tasteful one piece makes DJ, Zack, completely metallic from head to foot and is accented with neon green lights on the wrist and legs. The costume also features a small LED display in the chest, which displays an adorable little love heart and comes in a variety of colours. Still not goofy enough for you? Well, the costume also comes with built-in glowing sunglasses, a pair of oversized elf ears, and an antenna on the forehead that flops around in a mightily suggestive way. When it comes to picking an outfit for a fist fight, there are worse choices than a bodysuit. After all, it's hard to grab hold of something that's skin tight, but Jesus Christ, Zack, did you have to make the antenna wobble about like that? Blimey. Number 4. Corcher, Chrono Cross. Some video game characters look ridiculous because they're wearing far too much, whereas others, like Corcher of Chrono Cross fame, look ridiculous because they're wearing far too little. A ferryman from Goldove, the 16-year-old Corcher is probably most notable for having an incredibly strange sense of fashion. In the game, he wears a brown leather waistcoat with no shirt underneath, black hand wraps, silver arm cuffs, white foot wraps, and a pair of big red granny pants. Imagine if you took the torso of Crocodile Dundee and plonked it on Zangief's legs, and you get the general idea. As though that weren't a strong enough look, Corcher also has a truly bonkers hairstyle that's something like a wonky mohawk cum mullet with a braid in the back and far too much hair gel. Chrono Cross is a truly brilliant game, but Corcher's overall look makes us think that the devs were scrabbling for a design last thing on a Friday and were itching to go down the pub, so just hit the randomize button on an RPG character creator. They could have, at the very least, given the poor lad a pair of trousers. Number 3. Sangria, Never Dead. In the real world, sangria is a delicious fruity alcoholic beverage that will make you sick if you drink too much. In the world of Never Dead, sangria is a fruitily dressed demon that will make you sick if you stare at this outfit for too long. Never Dead is a third-person hack-and-slash title that sees wisecracking immortal Bryce hunting demons for money, and one of said demons is Sangria, a toad-like minion of Big Bad Astaroth. Now, I'll be honest, if I came across this odd-looking lad in my day-to-day life, my first thought probably wouldn't be, oh my god, a demon, but instead, I suppose there must be some sort of bizarre medieval carnival in town. This froggy fellow wears a frilly blue corset that's about 6 sizes too small, a matching codpiece, fancy patterned bloomers, pink leggings and arm warmers, lacy cuffs, a magenta cape, big frilly ruff, and a blonde beehive wig. I imagine if you're just listening to the audio of this video, that's quite the mental image we painted for you there. I know they say it's not easy being green, but I can't help but feel like Sangria doesn't help himself. At least get some clothes that fit, my dude. Number 2. Kefka, Final Fantasy VI. The scientific name for the fear of clowns is coulrophobia, whereas the scientific name for the fear of ugly things, including ugly clothes, is cacophobia. Coulrocacophobia would be a bit of an unwieldy term for a fear of badly dressed clowns though, so we highly recommend to the scientific community that such a thing be called Kefkaphobia. Indeed, not only is Kefka of Final Fantasy VI fame a fairly awful dude, you know, what with the whole destroying the world thing, what an absolute weapon, but he's also got the approximate dress sense of Pennywise on a bad acid trip. Any one element of his outfit would be a questionable sartorial choice in and of itself, but when brought together his clothes are an assault on the senses. Clashing patterns and colours, mismatched shoes, an overabundance of feathers and far too many dangling doodads combine to make one horrendous ensemble. And whilst we're on the subject of this tacky court jester's visual presentation, don't even get me started on the makeup. Accentuate the eyes or the lips, Kefka, otherwise you're going to end up looking like a right clown. Oh, wait, hang on, never mind. Number 1. Voldo, Soul Calibur series. Honestly, I'm not even sure where to begin with this one because there are ridiculous outfits and then there's the Soul Calibur series Voldo. First appearing in 1996's Soul Edge, or Soul Blade if you want to get second appearance from Simon Miller about this, Voldo has shown up in every mainline Soul Calibur game to date, and though his outfits have changed over the years, he doesn't seem to have gained a sense of fashion. When it comes to picking a favourite outfit for Voldo's wardrobe, we're spoiled for choice. We could go with his original Soul Edge look, which consists of a lot of leather straps and what looks like a pair of green binoculars strapped to his face, his red gimp mask and arseless chaps combo from Soul Calibur, or this tasteful if slightly penisy purple and orange number from Soul Calibur 3. Oh, who are we kidding? Voldo's most outrageous look is absolutely the strappy, furry, indigo and yellow costume, complete with spiky codpiece and thong from Soul Calibur 5. Never before or since has a video game character's outfit confused and repulsed us in equal measure. Such grace, such elegance, such cold buttocks.